Welcome to Called Voices in STEM, the podcast that highlights the experiences, challenges, and career stories of women in STEM. Join us as we explore the stories of these inspiring women and learn more about the diverse contributions they are making to the world of science. Here is your host, Dr. Chloe Lim.
Hi everyone, this is Dr. Chloe Lim, and you're listening to Called Voices in STEM, a podcast that highlights the experience, challenges, and career stories of culturally and linguistically diverse women in STEM. Before we get started, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we're meeting today, and pay my respects to the elders past, present, and emerging, and acknowledge the really deep contribution that they make to the life of our city and our region. So today, for our Called Voices in STEM podcast, I'm very excited and honored to have Jawaria Mahmood with me today as our podcast guest. Jawaria is an engineer with experience working for the government, corporate, and not-for-profit sector in Australia and overseas. Her areas of interest are network security and cyber awareness. She's the founder of Tech Aware, which aims at improving digital literacy and cyber awareness for communities, especially children. She loves breaking down complex technical concepts into easy-to-understand information. She has also been a volunteer for Girls Programming Network, or GPN. Over the years, Jawaria has developed keen interest in supporting communities and providing safe space for women and girls to learn and grow. She loves sharing her language and culture through various platforms and is a proud ambassador for creating multicultural and cohesive communities. So welcome, Jawaria, to our podcast today.
Thank you, Chloe. Thank you for the opportunity and having me on your podcast today.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited to hear a lot more about how you got into STEM and, share a little bit more about your background and how you became interested in STEM.
Sure. So I've come from an Asian family. So not many career options were acceptable back then. It was primarily just becoming a doctor or an engineer. And then it was like every parent's dream. And I'll say, of course, they were meaning well for their kids. And our country didn't have many opportunities of growth for other careers. So out of the two options presented to me, here I am, the engineer one. But I always loved maths though, and the straightforwardness of it. Pretty much, you follow the steps and here goes the answer kind of situation. So
So what sort of engineer were you?
Telecommunications engineering.
So
it was like, sounds pretty fancy, but I loved it though. All the coursework that we did around this area of specialization was pretty interesting because it was the start of when the mobile phones were coming, and then starting from the wired when the communication was happening to coming into the wireless communication. That's when I was studying, going to uni, and it was sound pretty cool. And people were like wondering and asking questions like, okay, how is it happening through the air? Kind of thing. So I was like, gave me some great, wow, it's like the person who owns the conversations and gatherings, like everyone's more about, and I had all the information.
That's
pretty interesting stuff. So loved it.
Yeah. So tell me a bit more about your journey though. So you said that you got started because, the limited career choice that you were given by your parents or by your family, but then you started loving it. So how did you sort of learn more and how did you get into that area?
Again, in multiple disciplines of engineering, I just found it to be less of, where I was not supposed to be more masculine, like their stereotypical engineering fields are. So I was like, okay, I'm the small-sized girl too, so I can't do that heavy kind of stuff, which apparently was then in my mind. So this sounded like in the bit of looking at what was in the in the content at the time, it sounded pretty much like, yeah, I think this is what I like doing. So yeah, just went from there, and yeah, I think it was the right path. Maybe I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. So you did a bachelor in the engineering, is that right? And
Yes.
then what was your career journey like since then?
So it was overseas where I studied and started my career. So a few years working in government and corporate
Mm.
sector before I came here. So yeah, so it was quite an achievement back then too, to be able to get a degree and then get PR based on that. So it's like
Mm.
really acceptable into the first world country. So yeah, and then came here, took a bit of career break, then went back to work. So yeah, this is all about it. But then I'm back in full flow, and then yes, loving it again.
So you had a career break and then you got back into work again. What did you do after your career break? What work did you do?
Well, it was, I would say, not easy because it was people face challenges when they moved countries, especially
Mm.
coming to Australia, and they're told that you do not have local experience.
Mm.
And on top of it, it's hard in the same place as well when you take a break for taking care of your family and you're getting back into workforce and you're considered like there are assumptions around that you're not as good as you were before a few years
Mm.
before. So I
Mm.
think I added a layer of complexity to my circumstances. It was in a different country and straight away having few gap years too. So it was hard in the beginning. It took me a while to get back into flow.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's like this is where I identified that there, there's lots to be done in this space, which is where I am volunteering my time as well in terms of associating with Girls Programming Network or other areas, different platforms which are supporting women getting back into workforce and supporting migrants getting into their careers. Yeah, this is where my work is primarily now.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Yeah, that's so. I guess, I think in your bio, we did talk about how you founded Tech Aware. So tell me more about Tech Aware. And yeah, what does it do and how does that fit into your supporting women and girls in doing science?
Sure. So I did the takeaway of blending my technology side of career and bringing awareness, taking care of, blending the parenting side of my personality
Mm.
that was there after the career break. And then, yeah, my kids were introduced to technology straight after they went to school. And
Mm-hmm,
they're
mm-hmm.
online, and then pretty much teachers' communication was happening through apps as well. So this is where I found a kind of gap as well, that these kids are not told the right way to be safe when they are using all those apps and when they are being online. So kind of creating like cyber awareness, especially for children. This is where I'll say my mom side was dominating that. It was like this didn't look right to me, although we are talking about protection of assets and all that kind of stuff at the bigger level for corporates and for bigger organizations. But it needs to be done at pretty much every level. And
Mm.
I didn't see many people doing it at that stage. Yeah. So I didn't find it right that you know about all this after you go TAFE and study these
Mm.
courses. So basic awareness and understanding should be coming as soon as you are handed technology.
Yeah, absolutely. So with I guess, so you said that, we have all these challenges around tech awareness, then we want to try and address it. So how are you going about helping people to increase their awareness about cybersecurity?
So I'm going this one is Tech Aware is going to be delivering like workshops at schools for kids
Mm-hmm.
and for community groups as well. So it's like there's different contents for different age groups, especially for migrants, for job seekers. Many people who come to Australia, they are not using as much like technology in their country as much it is being used here.
Mm.
So yeah, that comes with another added pressure of when they are vulnerable to scams. So yeah, kind of different community groups have different needs that are just kind of tested what they are wanting to know and how we can support them.
Yeah. Gosh, I think that's one of the big challenges with our society nowadays. It's a lot of people have devices. We all have our mobile phones or tablets, and we can access all sorts of different things. And how do we manage that with our children, isn't it? So I can completely understand, because I have 3 children, and they do get onto devices as well. But how do you make sure that they are kept safe when they are in an environment like that? So I think what you're doing here is really important, and I'm really excited to find out and hear more about the development of your venture for sure. So do you have any other projects or achievements that you're really proud of in your STEM career?
Well, I would say the biggest achievement ever was becoming an engineer for me, because starting from when I was given the option of choosing from doctor and an engineer, there were a few doctors around in my family, but no engineers. And then me being a female and then choosing a field which was primarily considered it's not for girls. So yeah, it was like I didn't have anyone who could guide me in the careers and who I could look for whenever I was needing help was always lacking. And despite all that, I still managed to complete my engineering degree. Is like, I feel like so unreal. How did I do that? And looking back at it, and it was that good quality degree, I would say, that got me into Australia as well, bringing family on PR. So I would say looking back at it, it still feels amazing. Like I was able to do that, and I was able to support my family in this way too. Yeah.
So what do you think it that helped you to push through in male-dominated field and to still come out strong and be successful?
I would say having a support person who kind of just believes in you, and then just one person is enough when you say that just you can do it if you have put your heart and soul into it and you love doing it. Yeah. So there's always, it's not an easy journey, and there can be a bit of failures along the way as well, but just be persistent. I would say your own resilience will take you through anything.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think, that's part of life, isn't it? We're always going to go through ups and downs. Sometimes we reach the height of the mountain and we're successful, but sometimes hit the valleys and, we experience failures, and that can be quite challenging. So talking about challenges, what have been some of the biggest challenges that you've faced in your career?
Like I mentioned, like it was people who migrate from a different country. They are facing difficulties in terms of acquiring a role here, pretty much of the same level. And then having a career gap on top of it made it like more complex. So that was very challenging time for me. And after coming with an experience and a degree, which was itself evaluated by Engineers Australia, and I was told, all right, this is pretty good enough, which the skill in demand in Australia. So you come here. And I landed here, and I was told, I think you need to look for a job in 7-Eleven, which is like, you got me here because you need me here. So where is that job that was supposed to be here for me?
Oh, gosh. Yeah. So what did you do then?
Oh, well, this is so I had one child when I came here, and then I got pregnant straight after as well while I was looking for work. And then we decided, all right, okay, my husband has managed to find and that will be able to take care of us while I take break off work too. Because with my first one, she was 7 weeks old when I went back to work full time. So I was always longing to kind of spend time with my kids. And I was like, okay, now let's take a break to raise our family. So this is where it was like, okay, just put the job hunt on pause for me for a bit. And then there were a few gap years until I was like ready to go back to work. So yeah, I would say Australia needs to kind of be more accommodating to those kind of families who choose to be more hands-on parents and want to be connected to their own culture as well. Because this is the reason for my career break as well, that I wanted them to be connected to our culture. I didn't have any family to support me, and I didn't want the kids to go to daycare. Otherwise, I felt they'll be more disconnected. So isn't it all about choices? So, but then I felt like I was kind of punished for my choices. Yeah, so that was the hard part though. But then I would still say, like, all women should be encouraged to stand their ground. And then, just be confident in your capabilities. You can always return to work, although it was hard and it should not be that hard. But now I'm working towards improving it. Volunteering through my initiatives, giving more opportunities to migrant women and through various platforms, the women who are transitioning into STEM careers. So I'm hoping it'll be better.
Yeah, no, it sounds like a really challenging time that you had to go through, and the fact that they said they needed your skills here, but were not able to provide you that opportunity to be able to use your skills is, I think, a big gap. I think that needs to be addressed, isn't it? So, what do you think needs to happen in the industry itself, perhaps, to create more opportunities for women, like migrant women or people who are coming over from overseas who are trying to find work here?
I would say just remove the lens of bias first, because the women of color are as competent as their male counterparts, and just be a bit more understanding towards their cultural needs as well. Yeah, so this is how you can create more inclusive workspaces, STEM or not STEM, in any areas of work. This is where the change needs to happen. And I'm hopeful it will be happening soon. There are multiple forums who are like taking care of it now. So we're getting there. Lots more to do, but we'll get there.
Yeah, I think this conversation around diversity and inclusion is quite strong at the moment, I have to say. It has definitely picked up over the years about the need to be more culturally aware and sensitive to the needs of those who are different, who are, who I guess are not the usual Anglo-Saxon background in a way. And I think it's a bit of both, isn't it? We do need allies who are supportive and wanting to support this initiative. And also, I guess there's also the counterpart from, like, the part to play from us as well as migrants, as immigrants, to also speak up and voice our needs as well. So I think that's a good point about having that conversation. I think it's important, and being able to speak up about those things. So do you have anything else that you wanted to add to that?
Oh, I would just say to similar women, just don't just accept anyone's doubt and stereotypes about you. This is what I would not have been where I am today if I listened to like everyone's advice. You just need to like find your allies, make your own tribe, and you'll thrive pretty much.
I think that's one recurring theme that I've come across in the interviews that I've done so far, is that you do need to have that community that supports you, that understands the challenges and the needs that you have as well, and to be able to have that safe space to share too. And so being able to find that tribe is really important, hey? So what advice would you give to other culturally diverse women who would like to pursue or are pursuing a career in STEM?
Well, I would suggest to follow your passion, because this is the only drive and it will take you to amazing places. Again, don't take everyone's opinion and everyone's advice. You just make your own allies, and you'll do well.
Yeah, no, I think those are great points. It's interesting how I think a lot of people do talk about really doing something that you enjoy, that lights you up, isn't it? And that, like you said, is going to give you that drive to keep going and to keep going for what you really want in life too. So and I really appreciate that, Jawaria. So I really want to thank you for sharing your stories and your insights with us today. So today we heard a bit about how you decided to go for an engineering pathway as compared to the doctors in your family, and that in spite of the challenges of being in a male-dominated field, that it was one of your biggest achievements, being able to go through that and to get your degree. So I think that's really, especially during that time when it's probably quite challenging to be in such a field as well. So definitely big kudos for that one. And thank you so much for sharing a bit more about Tech Aware as well. So maybe perhaps what you could do is maybe tell us a bit more about how people can find out more about Tech Aware and how people can be connecting with you and your work.
Techaware.au is the website, which will be showing you all the information about the different courses that are being run, all the workshops that are being conducted. Primarily, it's for schools at the moment, but community groups are being served as requested. So that is another area we are working on. And I can share my LinkedIn profile. You can look up my name, Jawaria Mahmood, on LinkedIn. This is where I'm more active. Yeah, the only social media platform, I would say. And the rest is through website, techaware.au.
Fantastic. All right. So I'll make sure to put the link to your website and also to your LinkedIn so people can connect with you there and share a bit, find out more about the work that you're doing through TechAware as well. So I want to thank you again, Jawaria, for sharing. I really appreciate you taking the time to share about your successes and your challenges and also this new venture that you've got coming up as well.
Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. So we've reached the end of our show. So thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others or leave a rating and review. If you have any questions about the things we covered in the show or would like to follow my projects, please find me on Instagram and LinkedIn. Thanks for tuning in today, and I'll see you at the next episode.
Thanks for listening to the Called Voices in STEM podcast. Get the show notes, links and resources from today's episode by visiting drchloelim.com.